Oh shit, I think I'm late for the party. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between, and yeah. So, as I'm recording this clip right here, I watched The Shape of Water for the first time yesterday evening, and my whole day today, I was like kinda in a good mood because that movie was so amazing, and I regret so much that I slept on it for so long because, wow, it was amazing and so beautiful, and the score was amazing and the characters were believable and the story was so nice and heartwarming and beautiful and everything, and it was a roller coaster of emotions. I laughed, I cried, I shouted at a screen angrily. Like, wow. And I definitely wanna watch it again just to focus on all the small details. Like, I already noticed some, but like, I really wanna focus on them because, oh my god, like, it's so great and I love it so much. Wow. It's been 2 weeks since I first watched The Shape of Water, and I'm still amazed at how brilliant this movie was. And I'm not sure anymore if I'm repeating myself right now, but I can't believe I slept on this movie for so long. The creature design of the fish guy was amazing. The acting was great, especially from the actress who played Eliza. I'm blanking on her name, and this fancy steel box has nothing but the title on it. So look at him go, look at him look at the egg. The egg. I think that's the right sign. I hope I didn't say something really offensive in sign language right now. If I did, I'm sorry. But yeah, the movie was amazing, and even after 2 weeks, I still think about it almost daily, and that speaks for itself. I think no movie ever did that. I mean, some, like, I don't know, like some Studio Ghibli movies did that maybe, but a movie that has been on my mind that much? That's rare. And The Shape of Water is amazing. And there are some details that I already noticed on the first watch, and I'ma watch it again, and this time take notes of all the things I notice and that I love, but I already want to go in and saying from my memory what I enjoyed and what not, and then I want to see if that stuff changes for when I do the next part of this video and when I've watched it for the focus watch with all the details. And so I like that this Jello thing reappeared later when Giles was again denied his cool art to be used for advertising, and they said, yo, we want a photo, and also the Jello needs to be green. And later we see the bad guy's family eating green Jello, and like, that was an amazing detail, and that was there for a reason. Like, it's bad that he got rejected, and the bad guy family eats the green Jello that got Giles rejected. So that's brilliant, and I like the movie so much, and I can't wait to watch it again. And like, I mean, there's like one thing I kinda didn't like, but it had its place. And that's the kind of gross sex scene between the bad guy and his wife, and like, but that already showed like some really weird and creepy intentions he had when he put his hand on his wife's mouth to make her silent and like not say a word, because yikes, Eliza doesn't say a word either, and like, ew, that was so gross, but hey, he got what he deserved in the end, and that's pretty cool too. Like, really similar to Pan's Labyrinth, when the bad guy came onto the one female character and she cut open his cheek, and later he got killed. And I liked how it was pretty similar to The Shape of Water, when the bad guy got his fingers bitten off and later also died. Like, that was cool, and I like this imagery that's mirrored between those two movies, especially Doug Jones, who you can't recognize because of all that creature makeup, but it's so brilliantly acted, and wow. And the dialogue, if there's any, I mean, there's unspoken dialogue with Eliza signing and all that, and I really like this movie, and I'll be right back. I mean, for me it's gonna be 2 hours and a few days until I record the last bit of this video, but for you it's gonna be just one cut. Okay, so I watched it for the second time and I'm still amazed. It was still amazing. And one of the most amazing parts about this movie is that it doesn't feel as long as it is. Like, 2 hours is a lot. And look, I normally have a lot of stuff going on that I want to do at the same time, so a 2-hour movie that is worth spending your attention on, you gotta plan that, and I don't want to plan my movie watching. So yeah, 2 hours is a lot, but The Shape of Water definitely doesn't feel like it. And when I first saw it, that the movie is so long, I was like, do I wanna watch a movie that I might not like? I mean, I could always quit midway through, halfway through, after 10 minutes, I don't know, but I sat through it when I watched it for the first time, and it was such a good decision. And now watching for the second time, having time to look at all the details, it was even more amazing. And since I've got it on Blu-ray, I went and watched the trailer, and I gotta be honest, I wouldn't have watched the movie just based on a trailer. I really needed that recommendation that was that I got, because yeah, I wouldn't have watched it, because like, okay, I don't want to call The Shape of Water a straight movie, because falling in love with a fish man, that's kinda queer. Let's be real here. That's queer as fuck. There's nothing straight about falling in love with a fish guy. And I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of this movie, that it's kind of straight, so you get like the straight viewers to enjoy and appreciate it, but it's also like really, really queer, and I love that. So yeah, the intro was so good with the brushing of the shoes and the making of the breakfast and lunch, and I really enjoyed the intro and how Giles spoke like some kind of fairy tale opening, and that was really cool, and I enjoyed it a lot. And what I really noticed on the second watch was like it had a lot. I want to take out my Bioshock copy and my Fallout copy to hold it up, but scratch that. It had like with those old-timey computers and all that stuff, and probably also the time period it's set in. It had like really heavy Fallout, Bioshock vibes with the old computers and the architecture. It really felt like those two games to me from the aesthetic, and that was amazing, and I loved that a lot. And the old cars, oh my god, I loved those old cars, the Cadillacs, and that old Ford that Giles was driving. That was so cool. And like, there was this one scene where some police protest or something was going on the TV, and I'm really wondering if those were the Stonewall protests. Like, I should have done research what time exactly the Stonewall riots were and at what time the movie is set in. Like, it's also like set during the space race, because there was all this talk about dissecting the Fishman to check out what we can do to find ways to put humans in space and all that stuff. And yeah, so I'm wondering, like, was it exactly that time period where the Stonewall protest happened, and like, was segregation still a thing? Because oh my god, that scene when Giles finally took the courage to fully flirt with the cake guy. Oh my god, that was so painful to watch, and oh my god, no. Also, like, Struckland on the second watch is even more gross, because I know what's coming and I don't want to have it happen, and ew. It's just a big ew. And I like a lot how Eliza shows no fear when she interacts with the fish guy, and even when he kinda freaks out because she wants to give him the egg, and she's like blah! and she just takes a step back, but she doesn't seem to be that afraid. And then you have like the bad guys with their guns and with their kettle electric sticks, and they freak out and feel threatened by the fish guy. I mean, he's strong, he's got claws, yeah, but they're armed, they have no reason to be afraid. And there's Eliza, and she's so nice and amazing and cute and curious and courageous. She's a great character. I fell even more in love with her on the second watch, and I really love that. And I like when the smoke break happened and they talked about moving the camera, that you could really see when she looked at the camera and she did that little smirk she does. I think that was the moment when she knew she was gonna free the fish guy. And I really like that. And you know what was also interesting? I think Struckland looks, with his family, looks a lot like the family on the poster of the jelly. And that's cool, because like later, that's the thing that I also noticed on the first watch, is with the green jelly and how it later appears during a scene with Struckland's family. that was cool. I really enjoyed that. And a scene that was still beautiful and amazing to watch, even on a second watch, was when Eliza explained why she wanted to save the fish guy. And when Giles freaked out and was like, he isn't even human! And then Eliza stopped him in the hall when she punched the wall to get his attention, and she signed, neither are we if we don't do anything. And that was such a strong scene, and I loved it so much, even on the second watch, and that speaks for itself. And what also spoke for itself and was a really strong and amazing scene is when Giles talked to the fish guy in the bathtub, and he talked about how he wasn't born in the right time, and how this space he was living in, the time, was not made for him, and maybe not made for the fishman either. And that scene hit really hard. What I also liked, which is like kind of sad, but it's weird, but I really enjoyed how chill Giles was that the fish guy ate his cat. Like, I would be upset as hell. But, and you know what's funny? Giles was like so chill and was like, yeah, we can't blame him, he is a wild creature. And you know what I thought? I thought he would, on the first watch, I thought he was referring to Pandora. That Pandora was a wild creature and had it coming. Not that, well, it could have happened, the fish guy is a wild creature. I thought he was blaming the cat for getting itself eaten, and not that he was excusing the fish man for eating the cat. Like, that was hilarious and something that I only understood on the second watch, so that was definitely necessary. Yeah, another scene that I really enjoyed was after Eliza did it for the first time with the fish guy, and she was like all dreamy and smiley and trailed her hands along the glass of the bus, and I liked how the water drops were like dancing and swirling around each other and later merging, and I think that scene was one of the most beautiful scenes in the movie, even though it was such a simple scene. And you know, now and dear Mass Effect fans, I gotta add, now we need to know about Drell anatomy. And like, wow, and then like Strickland was still so gross. Like, when he came onto Eliza and was kind of threatening her and being like, oh, I bet I can make you squawk a little. It was so gross. But like so well acted, because I really believed the dude to be creepy as fuck. And yeah, so, and I really like Dimitri, and I was wondering that when he was begging for the fish guy to be spared, before he got the orders to destroy it by his bosses, I really wondered if he begged for the for the fish guy to be spared out of a scientific standpoint, or because he wanted to get more information as a spy for his Russian friends. Like, that's something that's still not really clear to me, but maybe I'll find out someday. But like, I wondered about that, and yeah, but I was like kind of upset about some parts, but I think they had its place. For example, Dimitri ratting out Eliza when Strickland finally got to him and confronted him and wanted to know all the names of the strike team. They had to be at least 10. No names. They just clean. And like, I know, I think I get where Dimitri was coming from. Like, he wanted to make fun of Strickland. Like, oh my god, you think it's the whole biggest strike team that got the fish guy out of your lab, but haha, no, it was just like one simple tiny cleaning lady, and she managed that. Wow, you underestimate the people around you, you douche. And I think he was coming from that. I don't think he really wanted to rat Eliza out of something, but I think he really wanted to get a punch into Strickland's ego, because, yeah, knowing that the cleaning lady stole the fish guy and not a whole ass strike team, that must have hurt his ego, and I'm glad about that. And another thing that I really didn't like, and it felt like it came out of nowhere, or maybe it was just like one final piece to paint Brewster, Zelda's husband, as a douchebag, that he was like, oh, the mute has the fish guy, go to her. And he clearly saw that Zelda was trying her best to distract from the situation and to defend Eliza, and then Brewster did this bullshit thing and even got in the way when Zelda tried to warn Eliza. And I'm so glad. And then there was like the huge fight scene at the end, and Strickland finally got what he had coming all along. A nice claw slash through the throat. That was amazing. And now I'm wondering about the last part of the movie. Did Eliza die or did she not? Like, I mean, we saw her get jilts and saw her take a breath underwater and open her eyes and all, but that was also the part when Giles speaking started again, and his narration about like how it was in the beginning of the movie, telling this kind of fairy tale style narration, and I really wonder if the fish guy really saved her and healed her, or if she's dead and this magical happy end, happily ever after fairy tale thing is what Giles imagined to feel better. And I know this was like all kind of spoilers, but for me personally, if I get a movie explained and told why it's good and amazing, I want to watch it for myself, even though I got spoiled. And I know this huge video is a mess, but I just wanted to talk about The Shape of Water because the movie is so amazing. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this rant, leave a like, comment down below what did you enjoy about the movie, or did I motivate you to watch it even though I spoiled the heck out of it. Follow me on my social media, on Instagram and Twitter at CommanderNici, just like my channel name. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until I figured out what I can upload next, watch my other stuff. Bye!